Hello and welcome to the Airbus A320 simulator. We're here with Arnaud. If you follow the channel, you'll remember him. We did many sims together a few years ago. It's a big day because today we're starting again. And not just under any conditions. Today there's wind and turbulence, yes. How do we take off and land in wind and turbulence? However we can. We do our best. We do our best, always know the wind direction. During takeoff, tilt the stick slightly into the wind. Landing is more technical, we'll cover that soon. Do we use the rudder? Exactly. "30 knots of crosswind." Yes, that's a lot. That's the maximum limit of what's tolerable. Almost, yes. Your plane might be able to take off while others cannot simply because some restrictions depend on the aircraft's weight, or even on whether it has winglets, which can give you a few knots more or less. But in any case, there are safety margins that are extremely important. If the pilot on the plane with you decides to take off, there's no stress. All right, we're set up. We've got fuel. Yes, we've got fuel. So we have 5.88 tons on board. We've set flaps to 2. Let's do the takeoff checklist. All right, what does the takeoff checklist say? It's on the ECAM. So auto brake will set it to max. If we abort takeoff, it will brake automatically. Cabin sign for the passengers, so no smoking, we set it to auto, and we make sure the passengers fasten their seatbelts. We'll also arm the spoilers like this in case of a rejected takeoff before V1, and we already made a video about the V1 speed. When we stop the plane, it brakes and deploys spoilers automatically, adding aerodynamic braking and putting more weight on the wheels so the brakes work better. And the takeoff configuration test is to check if the plane agrees with everything we've set up. If everything checks out. Still, we're told that the predictive wind shear is off. We're going to set it to auto. There we go. Done. And everything is good. We're ready to go. Let's review the principle. On Airbus, no lights on the overhead panel is a good sign. And here you confirm there are no lights. No lights at all. We've set the flight director and the landing system. The landing system is on. That'll be for the landing. So now what we're going to do is take off. We'll climb to 2,000 feet straight ahead, following the flight director. Then at 2,000 feet, we'll make a right turn. So bank angle to make the downwind leg. Then we'll start the stopwatch abeam the runway. We'll be at 1,500 feet, about 1,500 feet above ground level. We do 1,500 feet divided by 100. So that's 15 times 3, which makes 45. So we'll take 45 seconds using a 45-second stopwatch. We'll fly outbound for 45 seconds. The wind is from the side, so we won't correct for it. And then, at the end, we'll make a turn. We won't correct it in terms of time. However, we will correct it for drift. We'll point the nose into the wind. Afterwards, we'll turn to line up for the final approach. We'll do all that in flaps 1. Right now, we're in flaps 2. At takeoff, we'll retract 2 and remain at flap 1. When you say we, is it me or is it you? It's you. You. Damn. Yes. So, today, Xavier Titleman is at the controls, and Xavier Titleman is playing the client. Yeah. So that's your role, actually. So we're partners, and we started a company where we let amateurs fly, or anyone who wants to come try the simulator. You can go through us. Xavier Titleman will explain more. We'll add it in the video comments. So, okay. The trims are set to 0. The pitch trim is okay. We're good. So, it'll be 50% power. It won't be the small mark, it'll be the blue circle. I'm setting it to the blue circle. There you go. With the brakes, you'll put, may I? Because a takeoff with turbulence. All right, let's get ready. We're still in a moving simulator. Yes, a lot. You need to be ready when it moves a lot.
Strapped in tight?
There is no risk in turbulence when you're strapped in. No, none. You've never had an injured pilot. Do you know why? Oh no, because they're strapped in. I'm showing 45. So, let's set it. First, I release the parking brakes, foot on the brake. My feet are on the brakes, at the top of the pedals. The parking brake is this one. For now, is it off? It's off. Well, they just turned it off. But we can turn it back on, normally. No, but we get the idea. So, on the runway, we never do that. But here it's an exception. There, now it's on. Yes. And you can see here it's braking. Look, you see. And if we release the parking brake, there it's off. Extraordinary. And we already felt a little jolt. Yes. I'm showing 45, so it'll be 50% power. 50, once we reach 50% power, you'll take your feet off the brakes, heels on the floor. Yes, move the stick slightly right because the wind is from that direction. Keep looking straight ahead. And then, you're the captain and the pilot flying. After that, you'll set it to toga, so calmly you'll go through climb, MCT, flex, flex, MCT, and toga. Okay, toga, takeoff, go around. There you go, full power. You'll be focused on looking straight ahead on the runway, so your role as the pilot flying is to keep the plane on the center line, and then, as pilot monitoring, I'll check if we have the right takeoff power and if we're accelerating properly. At 100 knots, I'll call out 100 knots. You'll check if you actually have 100 knots on your airspeed indicator. We compare the airspeed indicators, that's it. And then, after that, I'll call out V, 1V. 1 is at 128 knots. You'll take your hand off. And then rotation. And we'll take off. You'll follow. So you'll set 15 degrees of pitch, and then you'll follow the flight director, which will be about 17.5 degrees of pitch. Okay, you know I'm just a glider pilot. Come on, let's go. All right, first I set 50 here. Yes, so I'm almost right above. A little too high, come on. I'm at 50. Once it hits 50 outside, I'm lined up. One hand on the throttle, one hand on the throttle. Come on now, it's full power. Toga, there you go. 1, 2, 3. A little stick to the right, please. A little stick to the right. The wind is coming from the right. Takeoff 7. Hop. 1 thrust. So we have the right takeoff power. So I'm not lined up here. That's fine. You can come back. Not good. 120 knots? 120, yes. Forgot to call out 100 knots. V1 handoff. Rotate. Gently pulling the stick. There you go. You said 17 degrees pitch. Hop. Wind from the right, you can feel it. There you go. Oh man. Impressive. There's some turbulence, sir. Ah. Come on, pull on the stick. So I'm at 10 degrees of pitch. Yeah. Positive climb, I'm retracting the gear. So positive climb, the vertical speed indicator needs to be positive. Gear up. There you go. Wait, I'm trying to get to the center of the green cross. There. Okay, I'm descending. I'm already too high. Come on. Flaps 1. The flaps are set to 1. And the speed, let's set a speed. Flaps 1. I'm perfectly comfortable. Oh yeah? It's very, very easy. Come on. Anyway, an Airbus, even my concierge could fly it. Yeah, is that so? That's what they say, that's what they say. Well, I'm not convinced, but yes, the CEO of Airbus said that, and the pilots didn't appreciate it. This isn't a joke anymore. That's normal. It's tough. We're making another right turn. So here we have our flight path displayed here. So I'm not making the turn yet, though. We're stabilizing. We're going to do it now. Look, we're getting into position. Good. We're already at 2,000 feet. We're climbing to 2,000. 2,000 was the goal, indeed. All right, I'm turning right. What angle should I use? You follow the flight director. All right, I'll try to follow the flight director. So, look here at the little green cross. So, it's beeping because we're a little bit high. Yes, excuse me. Yes, it's partly my fault too, but you see my little yellow square is right on the green cross. Well, I'm trying to keep it on the green cross. And I did my best, but now, as a result, I'm too low. I need to nose down. Okay, I'm doing pretty well now. We'll do the after takeoff checklist. Landing gear is up. We'll do the after takeoff checklist. Landing gear is up. The flaps are set to 1. And I think we can let the autopilot disengage. There you go. So we've done the after takeoff checklist. So I'm at 2,100 feet. I'm going to try to descend very gently to get back to 2,000 feet. The view is incredible, with the Montparnasse Tower visible ahead. Sorry, so now I'm not looking at my... Well, in a real situation, you wouldn't fly it manually like I'm doing. First of all, the pilot would be skilled. That makes a big difference. You're doing well, as usual, and why am I even here? I don't want to bother anyone. Do I need to be wings level now? Yes, wings level. Because right now we're going backward. We can see the runway on our right, and the wind is pushing us back toward the runway. Since the wind is coming from our left, the wind is strong. So, we're heading toward the runway, so we need to move away. Yes, we need to get farther away. Normally, we should be 2.5 nautical miles from the runway, so here I set the scale to 10. That means the plane is in the center, and the first circle gives us a radius of 2.5 nautical miles, And right now, we're not too bad, but we're still going to keep moving a little farther away. We're going to reach abeam the runway. Once we're abeam the runway, we'll start a stopwatch for 45 seconds because we're correcting for the wind. It's coming from our left. It's pushing us slightly. So actually, we could take 43 seconds. Are you counting your seconds or is there a stopwatch? I'll take the stopwatch. It shouldn't require much from me. My brain's a bit busy. So I feel like we're abeam the middle of the runway. So we're abeam the middle of the runway. Okay, 45. Let's get a stopwatch. Go. The timer is shown here. We're holding at 110 knots and 45. What we're going to do is extend flaps 2. So you ask me. Now to extend flaps 2, we're a bit fast here because we're above the 2 marks here. So we're going to set the speed. Okay, are you setting 180? Yeah. All right, 180. That way it'll slow down nicely. You can ask me for flaps 2. Go ahead, flaps 2. Yeah, you can do it actually. Go ahead, flaps. Normally you unlock it. There you go. There you go, flaps 2. Okay, that's the speed check. Flaps 2, your speed will decrease. We're going to reduce it to flaps 2. Well, here you go. It's the first time I'm flying an Airbus, so flying with my left hand. You should know that it's not as complicated as I thought it would be. Oh, yes. I was afraid of... We're at 43 seconds now, so now we're going to be able to make our right turn. Okay, and you can set a vertical speed of minus 400 feet per minute. Let's set it to minus 500 feet per minute. Display it. There you go. We'll descend now. Let's go. And we're descending to 1,000 feet, yes. 700 feet vertical speed. Set your vertical speed. We turn off the flight director due to its setting. Now we're in overspeed, going too fast. So now are we gliding? Yes, I lost the PFD here, but it's not a big deal. Keep going like that. Okay, and what's that runway over there? That's Le Bourget. Ah, Le Bourget. So we were too fast because I wasn't looking in the right place. It's not a big deal. Let's keep going. Set a slight rate of descent. Go ahead, set a rate of descent. But I'm already below, okay. So I'm starting to descend, but shouldn't we deploy the speed brakes a bit now? There, they're out. Okay. Let's lower the landing gear because we're at mid-runway. Well, sorry, not mid-runway. I'm saying nonsense, but mid-final turn. Yes, there we go. And we're aiming for a speed of 140 knots. Okay.
Okay.
We're at 1,500 feet. Yeah. You're descending too much. You're a bit low, so stop going down. There you go. Do you see your runway over there? 1,200 feet? Come on, open up the turn a bit. The runway is way over there, guys. Level off a bit, level off a bit. I'm going to try to stabilize at 1,100 feet. I'm at 1,100. Okay, I did it. The wind is crazy, huh? That changes everything. Okay, and we're going out. So we agree that a pilot in this situation would do a go-around? Right now, yes. We're not on the center line and too low. See the red lights? I have 3 reds, now 4 on the right. The wind is pushing us back onto the runway. That's nice of him. There you go. But if he could stop now. And I'm putting out full flaps for you. Come on, thanks. He's on the brakes. There, wow. Spoilers, let's retract them. Okay, flaps were full. The other brake is out. All right, keep your eyes outside. Look out there. I'm trying. Wow. Oh, man. So I have the PAPI, so I'm starting to get closer to the right angle. Hands on the... We don't really have it. Normally you need 2.5 degrees of pitch. Hands on the throttle. You can follow along, okay? Okay, I'm too low, so my nose is too low because I'm at 0. So, look, 2 whites. 2 whites, so now I can go down. Like a pro. Okay, I'm trying to stabilize. 500? It's good that we have callouts. Damn, I'm sweating like it's real. I'm too low. So my descent rate is a bit high. I'm struggling with the rudder pedals, but it's fine for now since I don't need to adjust them much. Keep the nose slightly right. Okay, if we're not stabilized, we'll go around. I'm not sure I'm stabilized, though. For now, we're not too bad. You've seen worse for a beginner, but maybe not enough to land the plane. Yeah, listen, we're going to do a go-round. Come on, Toga. Come on, go-round. We're on top of your flight director bar. Right. Flap 1, so narrow flight. Come on, follow the flight director, pull on the stick. Come on, I'm pulling on the stick. Follow the flight director, pull on the stick. Positive climb, gear up. Retract landing gear. Pull hard on the stick and follow your flight director. Look inside. We're at dual input, you know. Come on, pull on the stick. Were you trying to help me without me noticing? 1,000 feet. Dual input means we're both touching the stick. Yes. So now I have a climb rate of 10. 1,200 feet. We're safe, high above the ground. Follow the flight director. We're slightly fast. Maybe I can reduce the auto thrust. There we go. 15 degrees nose up. We've reached 1,700 feet. I'm leveling off a bit more. 1,800, 1,900. Let's keep pushing for 2,000. Come on, 2,000. There we go. Okay. This time we're switching back to speed mode with auto thrust. Auto. I'm going too fast now. Yeah. So we need to retract the landing gear. We retracted the landing gear, then the wind pushed me again. Yeah, and it's quite a workout, you know. Mentally, at least. I don't know if... So we're too fast here. Yeah, but for cardio, yeah. There you go, there you go. Come on, this time are we going to do it together? Please, maybe it'll be easier. Yeah. I'm taking it off. Come on, I'll take the camera. All right, careful. Come on, let's take another turn. So we'll go over go-arounds. It's to avoid possibly ending up in a situation we wouldn't like. That doesn't reduce the risk. It's like redoing your parallel parking. Exactly. So don't see a go-around as a risk. It's actually the opposite. The crew doing a go-around doesn't need to justify it. And besides, they have other things to do than explain that to the passengers. Then with the airline, it's the same. The airline will ask what happened. But, you know, it's better to regret doing a go-around than to regret not doing one. All right, we're going to get back on the downwind leg. We'll come back to 2,000 feet. So we have the auto throttle engaged. All right, so here we can see our progress. The runway is here. We'll fly parallel to the runway on the downwind leg since we land into the wind. Logically, we're on the downwind leg here, but the wind is coming from the side. But it's still called the downwind leg? Yes. So we set to the flap extension speed, flap 1. So that's the S speed. We can see at the bottom we're going to reach S. So I'm just showing the runway over there. The craziest thing is that you really get a sense of the terrain. Honestly, the view is just amazing. And when we're abeam the runway, we'll start a 45-second timer. But where's the stopwatch? Because I can see the stopwatch button, but where does it show up? Only when you're on it, it appears. Oh, there's a stopwatch, guys, in a plane. I didn't know that. Okay. Hang on, I'm getting to the timer. We're about 2.5 nautical miles from the runway. We've compensated, we've calculated a drift angle. By the way, you can see here that our plane isn't completely aligned with the path it's going to take. Correct, we have a slight drift to the left by a few degrees. We're abeam the runway, starting the timer, 45 seconds. Let's see, set flaps to 2. No, wait, let me set flaps to 2. Yeah, go ahead. Flaps 2. So you need to clip it in and at the same time don't count it in the back. Okay, there you go. There's no slot. And you set flaps 2. Okay. There's a safety feature, kind of like speed. You're going to set it, please, to F. So F speed means you're going to look at your airspeed indicator. You see the F. It's to indicate that's the speed for flaps 2. So set 146, please. Speed 146. Okay. Set 146 on the airspeed indicator. T3, yes. Ah, well, let's go. We'll go with 40. We're lucky that the control tower is being accommodating and that there's no one around us. Yes. Yes, and we're not being very precise here. What? We're not maintaining our altitudes, distances, or angles well? No. Average? Average. Come on, we're at, let's see, 35 seconds, that's good. Let's start our turn. Gear down, please. And gear down, gear down. I'm removing my flag right away. Going down. Yeah. Speed is good. We'll see if the landing gear deploys properly. It'll happen sometimes. Oh my god. And actually we can do it in... Alright, it's green. All 3 greens. Yeah, not there either. Well, there you go. We have the confirmed landing gear position. Flaps 3. Did you do it? Okay. Flaps 3? Yes, I have it. Oh, you meant 2, that's right, yes. Alright then, we're at 3. Let's go. You anticipated. That's very good. You have to stay ahead of the airplane. Yeah, but here, a bit too much. So here we went too high. This is the speed. Here this is too slow, this is too fast. So you have to stay between these two limits. Come on, full flaps, please. Flaps full, flaps. We have the right speed, check. Full. We're good. 146 still, 146 still. Yeah, displayed. On center line, you can see the runway is perfect. We even have ground markers with C's. There you go. So here we're more or less lined up with the runway, and we correct. Of course, the slower we go, the more we have to correct. Also, we'll need to point the nose into the wind. So we keep descending. We have the landing gear down. We're going to arm the spoilers, arm the auto brake. There we go. We have just a tiny bit. I'm going to correct the drift just a little bit more. We have just a little bit. So just a reminder, on final descent, you calculate the vertical speed from the ground speed. So here our ground speed is 135 knots, let's say 140. 140 divided by 2 is 70 times. 10 is 700 feet per minute. We shouldn't go over 700 feet per minute. You need strong mental math skills when flying. We're going to do another quick proportion calculation. It's moving a lot. We're in tough conditions. It's hard. But, well, now I'm not touching anymore, but we're good, right? We're not too bad. That's it. Here we have 2 white ones, 2 red ones. The PPI lights are right there on the side. Let me zoom in to show you. Here on the side, you have 2 red ones. 2 white ones were exactly at the right angle. If we were too high, there would be 3 white ones, then 4 white ones. Too low, there would be 3, then 4 red ones like before. As we get closer, it becomes more precise. You can see how precise the hand control is here. With the little joystick. There you go. Next, we'll start using the rudder. Just like a normal landing, we're going to use left rudder and right rudder. There you go. Now we're switching to direct control. Now flare, which means we're rounding out. Yeah, so now here we go. And there we go. Landing gear. 2. There we go. That's good. Reverse thrust, meaning the engines blow forward to slow us down. 79. We stow the reversers to save fuel, reduce noise, and avoid disturbing neighbors. There you go. Well, that was intense. Really intense. Really intense. Okay. When we approach the runway, we're coming in sideways. Yes. There are 2 possibilities. Either we straighten out to get back on track. Yes. In that case, it's normal to feel a kind of movement like that. Yes. Second possibility, we land sideways. We land sideways. And with the inertia, the plane will straighten itself out. The nose of the plane will align by itself. Which one are you? Straightening out. You straighten out? Straightening out. Yes. Straightening out, because I'm from a generation that did a lot of straightening out. And then, in terms of aeronautics, in terms of mechanics, I think it's better to straighten out because the landing gear will have less impact. It puts less stress on the landing gear. There are some planes where, yes, military planes, on that kind of axis. Yes. Here's what happened. It was complicated. Plus, we had a crosswind and heavy turbulence. We were anticipating the turbulence. But the idea is to use the rudder to bring the nose of the plane back in line with the runway. But if we bring the nose in line with the runway, the plane will drift because it will be pushed by the wind. So then we bank the wing into the wind to keep the plane aligned with the runway. We keep the runway alignment with the wings and keep the nose straight with the rudder, and then we have to flare. And if at the same time we get a little gust of wind that pushes us off, yes. So there you have it. It's real. If you can do it here, you can do it for real. Oh yes. I didn't get a briefing since we've made some videos before. Can a complete beginner still have fun with your guidance? They can have a lot of fun because we adapt to the person's needs. So we work with everyone from beginners to professionals, and we really know how to entertain people. We put them at the level they ask for, and then they ask for different scenarios. They can take off from various airports and request snow, wind, or nighttime, basically anything. But generally, when it's their first time flying a plane, the challenge is just flying the plane itself. So, no wind, no fog, nothing. And even then, you really need to know your machine well before you start dealing with crosswinds and difficulties. Excellent. Well, we also want to thank SEMA Aero Training, who welcomed us today. It's a great simulator. They have simulators in France, China, India, South Africa, and helicopter simulators. They really have a lot of things. The simulators are in perfect condition, it's worth mentioning. And they're real simulators. Like you said, pilots use them for their qualifications, to prepare for selections, to validate their type ratings, to train for unlikely situations, engine fire, electrical failure, and so on. Can we do that too? Absolutely, let's go. All right, maybe we can do another failure next time? Another failure? Guys, we hope you enjoyed it. I'll put all the links to check out Arno. Also, you run some courses to help people overcome their fear of flying, so you'll have 2 links in the video comments. We'll see you very soon. Thank you.